It's time for another challenge. This time you'll use auto layout to create this layout inside of a scroll view. Remember, with scroll views you need to make sure you define the position and size of all subviews. That may require more constraints than you're used to. Pause the video, keep an eye out for ambiguous scrollable content errors, and come back to see how Katie constrained everything.
First, I need to add a scroll view. And I need to constrain it using the Add New Constraints menu, just like we did in the last video. Now, based on our reference image here, I know I need an image view. I'll set Ray Wenderlich to be the image, the content mode to aspect fill, and I'll check clip to bounds. It looks like the image should always be square, so I'll constrain it with a 1:1 aspect ratio. Next, I'll add a label and give it the name Ray Wenderlich. I'll also set the font styling to be large title and the alignment to center. The last thing I need is a text view. To fill this up, I'll use Shift-Command-O to open up a text file called bio, and copy the text, and paste it into the text view. Then I'll change the font style to body so it's actually a readable size. I also remember from the last video that I need to turn off scrolling on this text field, so I'll uncheck that scrolling enabled box. Now that I've got all the views I need, I'll add them all to the stack view. Change the alignment to center, and distribution to equal spacing, with a pretty big spacing of 20. The scroll view's content size is still ambiguous, so I'll constrain the stack view to each of the scroll view's sides to fix that. And finally, to make the stack view the size I actually want it, I'll make the width equal to the safe area's width. And it looks like this picture of Ray should be about a quarter the size of the view's height, so I'll set a proportional height constraint. And I think I'm ready to build and run.
That's a working scroll view.
In the last video, we constrained the stack view so that it had some space on either side. But what if we actually wanted to have the image on top go to the edges of the screen? Is there something else we can do to adjust just the size of the text view?
We could set a width constraint on the text view, but you already know how to do that. As a reward for sticking around for this challenge, I'll show you a way to adjust the inset on text views and still see the results in Interface Builder. Open up the Project Navigator and open the textview.swift file we've set up for you. This is just an empty UI text view class. First, make a variable named sideInset and make it a CG float with a default value of 0. Each time this is set, we'll change the text container inset property of the text view to use this side inset property for the left and right insets. We can do that with a did set like this.
You may be wondering how we'll change the value of side inset. If you've used IB Designable and IB Inspectable, though, you might have guessed our plan.
Add the IB Designable attribute to the text view class, and make the side inset property IB Inspectable. Now we just need to set the class for the text view in the storyboard, wait to make sure the Designable loaded properly, and in the Attributes Inspector we can set the side inset and see the results right here.
You should also always check your work by running the app.
Our insets are working in the simulator and scrolling is still working perfectly.
You've completed the first scrolling-packed part of Scroll View School.
Now that you've mastered the basics of this powerful tool, you're ready to add scroll views to your apps.
Coming up in Part 2, we'll dig deeper into the topic to show you how scroll views can help you with more complicated layouts and some common problems.
Meet us in the next part to see what's in store.